What's going on, everyone? Kevin the Tech Ninja here, and as you guys know, I am a proud Detroiter, and one of the big benefits of being from Detroit is seeing cars before they come out to the general public. I've been covering electric cars on my channel as I find the tech inside of them very fascinating. Now, my good friends at GM invited me out to check out their plant in Orion, Michigan, to check out the brand new Chevy Bolt EV and the Chevy Bolt EUV. These were the first cars being shipped to consumers, and I was actually able to see them, which was pretty cool. They had me do a tour of the facility and see the guts inside the car, and for some crazy reason, they let me behind the wheel. If you're new to my channel, let's set some expectations. I am not a car reviewer, I'm a tech guy. In this video, I'll talk about the tech behind the car and how they put it all together to make a car. So our journey starts inside the factory. The first time I saw the car, it was on the battery line. While this was happening, a battery was being loaded on top of this transport robot. This, what you're seeing right now, is like this huge crane that lifts the battery and sets it on top of the transporter. After it's loaded up, the robot sits in this cage patiently waiting for its turn. The robot has sensors, and then the factory floor has sensors too, so it knows exactly where it should be and when it should be there. Now, once the battery makes its way over and it's in the right spot, it lifts up to meet the height of the car, which is suspended in the air on a track. Then the employee uses their robot arm to attach the battery under the car's frame. It looks like something out of Mad Max as the worker just grabs this arm and starts to use it to bolt in the battery. Another area that I found the most fascinating is where you see the exterior shell and the engine and all the internal stuff come together. The frame comes down the line and these little robots carries the internal parts. They become married together like a sandwich. And the line does not stop, so these guys are moving and tightening things down at the same time. And when they reach the end, they go back to the beginning and work on the next car. Now, watching these guys knock this out car after car after car was a really cool experience to see. Now, then the car gets the wheels and it's making its final journey to the ground. The moment the wheels touch the ground for the first time, it's like a baby being born. Don't tell my wife I said that. They didn't say that either, that's just my weird understanding of it. Starting at $32,000 for the EV and $34,000 for the EUV, which is $5,000 less than last year's version. Plus, most people are eligible for that $7,500 tax credit. Now, the EV is a very compact car with a very simplistic design. Now, to me, it's sort of an entry car, you kind of towing into the electric world, but it still is like a standard car, so it's not like a big jump or a big difference than what you'd experience with a gas car. Now, what I love about these cars, just in general, the EUV and the EV, is that they don't scream, "I'm electric, I am different." They look like normal cars on the road. And I really like that because in my opinion, there's gonna be so many electric cars moving forward that they don't need to look different. It's just going to be a car. You're not gonna even have to say electric car pretty soon. The EUV is bigger and it's a bit more aggressive in design. And I think this is like best for those families that, need to get access to the trunk often and maybe throw some seats down and put some things in there. Like, for me, it's golf clubs, but maybe like an extra stroller or anything like that. That is what the EUV is for. It's just a larger, like, crossover style. Now, the EUV does come with a level 2 charger and a voucher for free installation, which is huge. And the EV comes with just the level 1 charger, which is like plugging into a regular wall. Now, speaking of charger, we need to talk about range. Chevy quoted me at 250 miles for the EUV, and the EV is 259 miles, mixed driving. Obviously, your miles may vary, and when it comes to EVs, they actually do better in the city because of regen braking, which I'll talk about shortly. In my personal experience for EVs, not this car specifically, but cold weather is the biggest factor for range loss. I mean, I could lose half, and I mean half of my distance or my projected range on my current EV if the weather is like between 10 and 20 degrees Fahrenheit. I did have a chance to ask and Chevy added a resin pump for extreme temperatures. Whether it's hot or cold, they use this pump to keep the battery at the ideal temperature. Does this help? Only time can tell, but at least there's a solution in place, and that should help with some of that cutoff in cold weather. I also had the opportunity to take the boat for a drive. The very first thing I wanted to test was acceleration, because I know EV cars are just notoriously quick because they don't have that combustion engine. They don't have to do all these things like spooling up. They just go, there's no shifting. It's kind of a different experience if you haven't been in one. I know this car isn't a performance car, but it's very fast. It goes 0 from 60 in 6.5 seconds, which is plenty fast for most people. Also, if you've never driven electric, that instant torque off the line is similar to like an electric golf cart or anything like that. It is just very, very fast, and just, it can easily put you in the back of your seat. Now, Super Cruise is another feature that GM has been talking about for a while, and I never had a chance to check it out, but I finally had a chance to see it. Now, Super Cruise is GM's autonomous driving feature. On the freeway, it'll adjust your speed, it'll keep you in the center lane, it'll go around like curves and even avoid objects and automatically brake if it needs to. Now, as far as safety, there is a green light on the steering wheel letting you know that it's active, and it also watches your eyes. So that moment you take your eyes off the road, it flashes, then it disables if you do not return your eyes. I accidentally tested this feature on purpose, and it does work. I also made sure to activate the one pedal driving. This one is sort of weird for a lot of people, but when you take your foot off the accelerator, the car starts to slow down instead of coasting like a gas car. It also starts to store the energy back into the battery, and that is something that takes a while to get used to, but once you use it for a bit, it becomes just so much more intuitive way of driving. They call it one pedal driving. I mean, you're still gonna use the brake, but if you can time your stops or you can use it to coast between traffic, it is really, really nice to sort of get the rhythm of it. It is definitely a rhythm thing, but now that I use that every single day, when I go back to like a standard car, it is really hard. Now, these cars are a lot of fun to drive. You know, switching to electric is a lifestyle change. Now, we'll see more and more cars coming in at affordable prices, you know, starting in the low 30s plus a tax rebate. This makes for one compelling argument if you were unsure about getting an electric car or they've always been too expensive. Now, once again, thank you so much for Chevy for having me out to come check out this car. It was a lot of fun. If you stuck around this long and you're not subscribed, what are you doing with your life? Hit that subscribe button right now and ring that bell notification. Kevin the Tech Ninja here. Have a great day. Talk to you guys later.